Over 450 people attended the Hospitality Industry Awards presented by the New Mexico Restaurant Association. This year's event theme was based on a 1920s Prohibition speakeasy and recognized New Mexico's most wanted. Industry awards were given to Restaurateur of the Year, Restaurant Neighbor, Chef of the Year, and Manager of the Year. Special People's Choice Awards were given to the public's favorite New Mexico distillery, winery, and brewery. Let's meet the New Mexico Restaurant Association's most wanted for 2018.
I'm Carol White, the CEO of the Restaurant Association, and I hope you enjoyed the cocktail party, and thank you all of you who dressed for the evening. Really appreciate it. Tonight, we're delighted you can join us as we gather to recognize this year's Hospitality Industry Award winners. We also have two very distinguished guests with us, and we're honored to have them share their time. The New Mexico Restaurant Association has been working to protect and promote restaurants in the hospitality industry since 1946. Our legislative advocacy is the bedrock of all we do at the association. We know how important it is to stay active and informed in our government, and so we try our best to keep you connected to issues that are important to your business. It's my honor this evening to welcome two gubernatorial candidates, Congressman Steve Pearce and Congresswoman Michelle Lujan Gresham. We've invited the candidates to talk about their vision for New Mexico in 10 minutes or less. Now, these are politicians, but I do have a hook off the stage, so just keep that in mind. To begin, we have Steve Pearce. He was raised in Hobbs, New Mexico, and is an alumnus of both New Mexico State University and Eastern New Mexico University. He's a decorated veteran of the United States Air Force. He built a small business from the ground up, an oil field services company in Hobbs, which created much-needed jobs in his community. He began his government service in 1996 in the New Mexico House of Representatives. He is currently the only Republican in the New Mexico congressional delegation, and he has served there since 2002. Steve was appointed by his peers to serve on the House Committee on Financial Services and the House Committee on Natural Resources. He continues to serve as Chairman Emeritus of the Congressional Western Caucus. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Congressman and gubernatorial candidate Steve Pearce.
Thank you. Thanks, Carol. Thank you very much. Now, excuse me if you don't know, if you don't work for 25-year-olds, you won't know. I got to post this on Facebook or it doesn't count. Something about that. I'm not sure exactly what that is. If you don't want your picture there, we'll just wave while I'm giving a speech and we'll blur you out or whatever it takes there. I am Steve Pearce. I'm here to earn your support as the next governor of New Mexico. You know, we talk a lot about the deficits that New Mexico faces. We talk a lot about the things that are lacking in New Mexico, and we all know those. But I tell you that they're not the things that I notice when I go around the state. I notice an indomitable spirit among the people of New Mexico. We bounce back, we've got resilience. We understand that things could be better, but still, you and I, we have chosen to stay in this state and make our lives here. So my first ad ran, or the second one, talking about I grew up as one of 6 kids. My bio says I grew up in Hobbs. That's not quite true. We grew up 5 miles south of Hobbs. We were moving from Eunice to Hobbs. Dad got a transfer in the oil field. We ran out of money 5 miles short. So I grew up in Nadine, not in Hobbs. They just round it off and say Hobbs. So when I was born, my dad was a sharecropper. So things were very tough. He went broke doing that. So by the time I was a year and a half old, he had gone to work in the oil field at the entry level. And he worked there the rest of his life. He finally got a promotion after all of us had gotten out of college, when we had made our own way. And so he got a promotion, but He basically raised us on about $2.62 an hour. Now, at some point, we got this little 5-acre farm there south of Hobbs, and we grew up on that. I just tell people, and it's the truth, we grew vegetables and sold them down at Tootie's supermarket in order to kind of make the ends meet. Now, Mom would get us all out there because we were always starved for cash. And so the Berceros would come in, and Mr. Job had the field right behind us, and Mom would have all 6 of us kids down there chopping cotton in the spring. And in the fall, we would be there picking cotton. At that point, I grew to love people who couldn't speak the language. They'd come here and do everything to support a family. Now, I didn't know that at the time. All I knew is that for this 9, 10-year-old kid, that they were there and they'd give a helping hand. They'd pitch a few bowls of cotton into my sack when I was picking cotton. They knew I wasn't making enough money to do anything. But you'd really grow to admire people who just do anything to raise their family correctly. Mom and Dad never went to a political meeting their whole life. I'm not sure Dad exactly knew how they registered. They were registered Democrats, and I'm sure when I first registered, they wondered what happened to me. But when I serve in Congress, every day I think I'm representing people like Mom and Dad. They just wanted to raise their family correctly. They wanted to take us to church on Sundays, send us to school, and the 6 of us, they expected us to keep up the good family name. And that's the way I find New Mexico today. And so when I see that we have no opportunity for a lot of New Mexicans, it just bothers me very deeply. And it's the reason I'm running for governor. I know we can succeed. It's going to take grit and it's going to take determination. We will have to work through failures of the past and failures of the future in order to make that occur. But I know that we can do the things that are going to turn this state around, and I capture those in very short segments. We need to grow and diversify the economy. Diversify is a key. We cannot tolerate having 35 to 40% of the budget from one industry, and that industry, which I grew up in, is very volatile. We would be eating chicken at the beginning of the week in Hobbs, and by the end of the week, we would be eating the feathers because the price of oil would fall and rise that quickly. You cannot fund your schools on an economy that is that volatile. So I want the oil and gas to succeed. Don't get me wrong on that, but I want to diversify the economy, and I know that it's possible to do that. Secondly, we must fix our schools. We cannot get companies to come here. They will not put their kids into our school systems. They are failing in almost every regard, and it is not necessary. I have good ideas about what we'll do in there. I'll flesh that out in just a moment. Thirdly, though, and this is personal because I came out of poverty, and I'm saying that we will not, as a state, continue to look the other way while about half the state is in poverty with almost no hope. If you're going to deal with poverty, you better be ready to take on the behavioral health, mental health, drug abuse, opioid abuse. You better be willing to take it all on. If you don't do that, then you're not going to succeed in any of the other areas. And finally, the crime. We cannot allow the crime to continue the way it is. We will not allow that to continue the way it is. So people wonder about how we're going to diversify and grow the economy. The big picture is that we need 3 kind of parallel economies, one for the blue collars. That's when I say we're going to have apprenticeship programs, and we're going to put people into those apprenticeship programs. That is going to solve many problems. Right now, the kids don't learn skill sets. When they come and ask you for a job, you can't hire them because they really don't know much about what they're doing. So we're going to have the apprenticeship programs. We're going to we need blue-collar jobs up and down the list. We've got a lot of jobs going begging for people. One of the things that I say, and I say it with full love for everyone, is that we've got about half the people in New Mexico on Medicaid. In order to work, in order to be on Medicaid to get your benefits, I'm going to have a work requirement. If you're able-bodied, of working age without dependents, you will have a work requirement in order to get your benefits. We can stair-step the benefits down to where it's worth more to you to be working than to be off. But we must return people to the dignity of work and to the understanding and the self-respect that they can make their own way. So the blue-collar jobs, we will have the apprenticeship programs, the return to work. Then you've got to have rural economies. We cannot satisfy the state with the taxes. We can't build the roads in every county with the taxes that are paid only in Albuquerque and Santa Fe and the Rio Grande corridor. These rural economies must be built. And we've got good, solid plans for doing that. The third area is the high-tech component, and that's where Albuquerque, the Rio Grande Valley comes in. We can do that. We get about $7 billion a year into the labs, but a lot of it escapes out to contractors out of state. Begin to get the contractors here. The second area of high-tech, and you can love or hate the spaceport, but we will not let that $220 million investment go to waste. I'm not in the habit of letting a $200 investment elapse, much less $220 million. And so maybe you hate the idea that we built a spaceport, but once you pour the concrete, it's too late. You should not be able to worry about it then. It's too far south of Albuquerque to park cars on for the airport. We must and we will make that spaceport work. So those are the three main economies. To fix education, we're going to let our teachers teach. We're going to take the problems out and put them with specialists. And I'm thinking of the young girl sold into prostitution probably is not a good candidate for reading and math testing on those days. We need to put them outside with specialists, let our teachers teach. Again, the apprenticeship programs have showed that they're going to push the dropout rate down and the graduation rate up. There's just so many potentials for us here. Now, if you've watched my career in Washington, you will know that I've been rock solid on the issues that matter to you. It's not because I'm trying to curry favor. It is because my wife, and she's over here, please welcome Cynthia here today, if you would. But we grew up in a small business that was competitive with companies that were worldwide companies. And if we couldn't make it work, then it was our house that we lost. It was our business. It wasn't some corporation. It wasn't some outside investor. And so we learned the business principles, the free market principles that are so key to the success of this future, or of this country, and our future depends on it. I've never been in favor of the government telling you how to run your business. I haven't been in favor of the government telling you what you should pay or not pay. Let people decide that. Let the market decide it, and the market will raise and lower itself depending on the conditions that we face. You cannot arbitrarily raise anything. So one of the questions I get a lot is what are we going to do for health care? I will tell you the association health plans are dramatically important. The association health plans have been approved by the administration. They've just been written into law, so we can do that. Preventive medicine is absolutely something that we must push for. Shopping across state lines, there are so many things that we can do to get the cost of health care under control, things that we must do. Crime, if you do bad crimes, we're going to keep you in jail, I'm sorry. And I'm not going to allow the CYFD to turn their back while our young people are just being destroyed by families that are eaten up with drugs. We have to solve all four of those problems together: the crime, poverty, the education, and the economy. You are such a key component. You hire so many people throughout the state. I appreciate what you do, and I've appreciated you the full time I've been in Washington. That's the reason I've earned the support of the Restaurant Association nationwide every year that I've run. I'm here asking for your help, for your support, and your prayers. We can change the future of New Mexico, but we're not going to change it with one party or the other. It's going to take both parties on board. It's going to take the independents. It's going to take us all committing to the future of New Mexico that we know is possible, that you know is possible. I'm filled with passion for the state. I'm filled with love for the state. I'm the one of the kids that stayed here when the rest of the kids left. You made the same decision. Let's decide to go forward together. Same values, the same commitment, and the same desire that we want a state where our kids will stay and make their lives stronger. Families make stronger communities. Stronger communities are going to make a stronger country and a stronger state. It's that simple. God bless you all. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Congressman Pierce. We are also proud to have with us this evening the Democratic gubernatorial candidate. Congresswoman Michelle Lujan Gresham is a 12th generation New Mexican. She's a graduate of the University of New Mexico Law School. Michelle began her political career in 2004 as the state secretary for the Department of Health. She was elected to Bernalillo County Commission in 2010 and began her term in the U.S. House of Representatives in 2012. She currently serves on the Budget Committee and the Agriculture Committee. She is the chair of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Congresswoman and gubernatorial candidate Michelle Lujan Gresham.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Oh, wonderful. And thank you to the Restaurant Association for having me here tonight. I'm delighted to get to participate in your dinner and award ceremony. And I want to say that we just finished our campaign, a 9-day, 33-county, I think somewhere about 65 community tour. And I want you to know that I feel like I visited and definitely ate in every single delicious restaurant in every single county in the state of New Mexico. And it is clear, even before that trip, that restaurants are an incredibly important part of New Mexico's economy and part of our future economic ecosystem. And I want to talk to you about a couple of things. One, that New Mexico is now, as you know, Bobby Flay and so many others are talking about some of the hottest food destinations in the country are restaurants that are represented right here in this room tonight. And it's incredible because that is a component, I think, of moving our tourism industry in an all-new, heightened, effective, targeted way. And if we do that better, and I'll give you an example, right here in Albuquerque, one of the top hotel privately owned chains, their tourism and marketing budget is 3 times the entire marketing budget at the State Department of Tourism. Right? What this says to me is that New Mexico hasn't really thought about making sure that tourism is a #1 priority. If it's not a #1 priority, we're not attracting the kind of businesses and visitors that can make a real difference in industries and this association, and we want that. It's also clear to me that figuring out ways to have unique partnerships to highlight getting visitors, getting folks to really think about how restaurants are economic hubs in their communities, right? We have folks who visit, study, eat, shop, and create an environment that produces a better economic return. So I want to give a shout out to Experience Mesilla, because part of our economic plan is actually value-added ag. And I talk about value-added ag because how many people here in the room know that the oldest vineyards in the country are? That's right here in New Mexico. And Experience Mesilla is the kind of effort that California put together for the Napa Valley. If we decide that we want those kinds of efforts and investments, that means that we have to collectively work together to create that environment. There is no reason that New Mexico can't identify that not only is it a top tourist destination statewide, that not only are we a top food destination statewide, that restaurants should play and continue to be engaged in a leadership role in moving a dynamic economy, a diversified economy forward. And you're going to highlight, and I'm very excited, and I wish I could stay, because ProStart is exactly the kind of initiative where we're clear about teaching young people not just about the restaurant business, but putting them in a position and competing for both culinary talent and restaurant management and ownership, because we have to give young people and new business owners the opportunity to succeed by having real life experiences in being entrepreneurs. New Mexico is now still one of the last places in the country that's not teaching entrepreneurism in its high schools. You're demonstrating the kind of leadership that the state should be joining, so that we're giving you both the kind of investments to make these efforts go further and to attract more young people and business partners. And then I also want to talk to you before I end about the fact that your partnering is the kind of effort I'd like to see in state government. Now see, I think state government does create jobs. And this is why I say that. It creates an environment and an ecosystem. It is either open for business and makes it easy for you to navigate. How many people in this room have nearly lost their minds trying to get a certification, a license, a permit from every local body of government, then the state of New Mexico, who has different rules, different people, different timelines, waiting lists, and then when it looks like everything is smooth, one of those entities will decide that one small component isn't met, and what happens? You're not open for business. That makes no sense to me, particularly for a state that was struggling economically. We ought to be creating the kind of synergy where all of the rules are the same, it's predictable, we have one person who can sign off on all those aspects, and everywhere we can minimize the negative impact. We're trying to make sure that we're good partners and good stewards so that you can be open in any number of ways. I've actually worked for state government and for county government and worked to streamline those efforts. We can do that again. So I'm asking for your support in this run for governor. I want to hold you as the kind of partners that can make such a difference in where we go economically. And there's no question that if I can get the best pie in the country in Pie Town, which has, I think, a total population of 10, right, in the city proper. Now, I'm not kidding about this. If the best pie, and now that apple pinon green chili pie is one of the hottest recipes to try to replicate and download in a community of 10, why can't we be the top food destination in not just the country, but in the world? And why don't we start thinking about a state that's always been able, when it puts its mind to it, to deliver? New Mexico has led in any number of areas, and I believe in you. I have no doubt that together we can see dramatic, positive changes and long-term investments in a sustainable future for all of us. And the last thing I'm going to do before I let you get to your awards ceremony, and it's a bit gratuitous, so I hope that you don't mind, but my good friends from Garcia's, I'm a caregiver for my mom, and my mom is a sucker for their menudo. So for everybody else, you're going to have to figure out what they do right. She wants that. They help me and my mother get in. They're caring, they're compassionate, they ask me all of the time how she's doing. And the reason that I say this to you is that really the secret recipe for all of our success is that we need to build this community together. It's not a state government issue, it's not just a governor issue, it's not a local government issue, it's not just this association issue. It's how we treat each other as family. That's the New Mexico that I know. It's a place where family isn't just who you're related to by blood. Although if I get all my cousins out to vote, I win. That's probably true. But it's the people we build a community with. And this association is a community. You hold each other up in good times and bad. You share business practices. You look out for each other. You partner with each other. Experience Mesilla is an incredible effort that needs to be highlighted as the kind of work that we can do in so many other communities. So congratulations to you tonight. Congratulations to all the award recipients. And thank you for putting into practice many of the educational and economic efforts that can make a difference not just in this industry, but can make a difference statewide in every industry. Thank you so much for having me tonight. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman Lujan Gresham. Those are two great candidates, and it's going to be a hard decision in November. Ginger is a third-generation New Mexican, a graduate of UNM, and a big fan of the New Mexico restaurant scene. Please help me welcome Ginger Rex.
Thank you so much, and welcome. I'm honored to be your MC for this evening. It's my pleasure to celebrate all of you, the talented people who create the foods and the hospitality of our unique state. So thank you for bringing us the wonderful tastes and warm welcomes that make New Mexico the best place to explore food in a way that is uniquely New Mexican. And truly, you are the best of New Mexico, and you show it every day when we get to visit your restaurants. So now, on that note, wasn't this a wonderful meal? Did everyone enjoy your dinner? On behalf of the New Mexico Restaurant Association, we would like to extend our gratitude to the Embassy Suites for their wonderful hospitality. We would especially like to thank General Manager Gina Ronaldo, Food and Beverage Director Thad Clark, Director of Sales Mike Adams, Executive Meeting Manager Marisol Freyer, Executive Sous Chef Jason Jim, and Director of Banquets Bill Aragon. Would the Embassy Suites food and beverage staff who have taken such wonderful care of us this evening, please take a bow and let's give them all a big hand. Thank you. NMRA could not put on a celebration like this without our sponsors. Our generous sponsors help us keep things going with their support. So let's offer them a big round of applause. To the annual Chef's Table sponsors, Ben E. Keith, Food Industry Self-Insurance Fund, Heartland, Cisco, New Mexico, and U.S. Foods for being our sponsors for this wonderful gala event. Thank you. The association's other sponsors are listed in your program as well. Please show all of our sponsors your appreciation by patronizing these companies. Without their support, the New Mexico Restaurant Association would not be able to serve our state's members as they do. It's amazing to see the overwhelming generosity from our sponsors, hotels, our hosts, and our donors. There's a great deal of work that goes into putting on and putting together an event like this. The NMRA Hospitality Industry Awards Committee has worked diligently to make this an outstanding event. Would the committee please stand? Everyone, please join me in showing some appreciation for their hard work. Now, has anyone seen the NMRA staff? They are being accused of some serious crimes, being the leading advocate and invaluable resource for education, political action and information and services for our industry and the community that we serve. These are serious violations. The last they were seen, they were answering calls, emails, online support requests, and meeting with industry leaders and NMRA members. Now, if you find any of these highly sought-after professionals, you will be rewarded with 72 years of service and 80-plus years of industry experience serving the industry and the members of NMRA. Would the most wanted staff please stand? NMRA is fortunate to have a strong and active membership, supported by a dedicated board of directors. Through their service, they show their commitment to ensure the restaurant industry remains strong and vital in New Mexico. They give their time and resources to strengthen the industry for us all. We would like to take a moment to thank the board of directors for their service. Would the board please stand? Let's all raise a glass to their commitment and dedication. At this time, I would like to ask the chairman of our board, Mr. Mark Vigil, of Mark's Restaurant and Catering, and NMRA President, Mr. Wayne Moore, of St. Clair Winery and Bistro. Please join me on the stage as award presenters for the evening. Both Mark and Wayne have been staples of the restaurant industry here in New Mexico, and through many years of service and active participation, We have been honored to have them on our board of directors. We thank you both for your time and energy that you have put into making the NMRA the best it can be to meet its needs for the members. All right. With sponsors, board, staff, and members, we're all in this together. Let's move forward into the future of the industry, and we're going to start by taking a look at some of those who will be making up your future workforce.
The ProStart program is a 2-year curriculum designed to teach high school students the culinary and management need to participate in paid internships where industry managers mentor them. Each spring, New Mexico ProStart students compete to earn a chance to advance to the National ProStart Student Invitational and to win scholarships.
New Mexico's, yes, we can applaud for that. New Mexico's ProStart program is a key component of our industry. Working with the support of the New Mexico Restaurant Association and the Hospitality Industry Education Foundation, administers the ProStart program here in New Mexico. This program prepares high school students for the many jobs available in the hospitality industry. ProStart is currently in 34 high schools throughout the state, and it provides curriculum to over 1,800 students. We encourage you to get involved in ProStart as a volunteer or as a mentor. Please call the NMRA and they'll get you in contact with a school in your area. On March 5th of this year, the New Mexico Restaurant Association hosted the 17th annual ProStart Invitational at Crowne Plaza, Albuquerque. 15 New Mexico high schools and over 100 students competed for over $1 million in scholarships and a chance to represent our state at the National ProStart Invitational in Providence, Rhode Island. We would like to take a moment to honor the first place winners of our state competition. Cloudcroft High School is the 2018 winner of the management competition. Will the Cloudcroft students please come to the stage to accept the award? This is the 3rd year in a row that the Cloudcroft High School team has won the state management competition. They built a restaurant from scratch, including menu costing, marketing, operations analysis, and more. Please note their names on the screen and give these students a big round of applause. Congratulations. Congrats. Way to go. Deming High School is the 2018 winner of the culinary competition. Will the Deming students please come to the stage to accept the award? Their menu was judged by your fellow chefs and restaurateurs. Their entree round included pan-seared and smoked quail with faro pilaf and sautéed squash with a pork reduction. They rounded off the meal with a caramel whiskey poached pear dripped in chocolate ganache. Nice. Wow. Where do I sign up to be a tasting judge? Please give these students a big round of applause. This evening, we are also presenting the Hospitality Cup. This cup goes to the school with the combined overall best score in the Culinary and Management Invitational. The winner of the 2018 Hospitality Cup is Taos High School. Will the Taos High School team please come to the stage to accept their award? This is the 2nd year in a row that Taos High School and their ProStart team have received the Hospitality Cup. The Taos High School ProStart team receives an incredible amount of support and guidance from their local community and mentors who spend so much time and energy supporting these kids. Never underestimate the impact that a contribution of your time as a mentor or your money as a donor will have on these students and their programs. Please give the management and culinary teams from Taos a big round of applause. Congratulations. Great educators are a requirement for having a great ProStart program. At this time, we would like to recognize Danielle Young as the Pro Start Teacher of the Year from Atrisco Heritage Academy. Danielle, would you please come forward? Danielle has done an exceptional job as a Pro Start educator. She has been with Pro Start for 6 years and has helped create Atrisco Heritage Academy's culinary program as it has grown to be one of the best in the state. Congratulations. Danielle has not only brought awareness to the school, but to the community about the Pro Start program and how it's empowering our industry's future. With the vision of Atrisco's principal and the help of her students, Danielle has also built from the ground up the student-run cafe, which hosts dinner theater nights with the drama program. Thank you, Danielle, for all you do for tomorrow's hospitality industry stars. Now, another important mission of the New Mexico Restaurant Association and the Hospitality Industry Education Foundation is to support the higher educational endeavors of students entering the industry. The Hospitality Industry Education Foundation has awarded a total of $10,000 to 10 students for the 2018-2019 academic year. Would all of the scholarship donors for this year please stand so we may recognize you for your generous contributions? Thank you. The scholarships we give through the generosity of our members help pave the way for students to attend institutions of higher learning and gain the skills they need to grow and prosper in the restaurant and hospitality industry. The Education Foundation scholarship recipients for this year are listed on your screens. As I read their names with the scholarship recipients in attendance, please come forward to be recognized. Please hold your applause until the last student is announced. Karina Arvizo Acosta, Diana Cook, Dennis Escovedo, Alejandro Flores, Connor Olson, Melanie Salazar, and Melinda Wirtz. Please help me congratulate all of these recipients. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yay, congratulations. Now we are on to our industry awards. Initial nominations were open to everyone and were received from every corner of our state. The nomination committee comes together to look at all of the nominations and the nominee responses, and that makes the decision very difficult for who the winners of the year will be. The nomination committee is made up entirely of former Restaurateur of the Year winners. This is truly a jury of your peers. So know that when you receive these awards, it's an honor bestowed upon you based upon your accomplishments and contributions to the industry by those who know themselves what it takes to be successful. All nominees in each category are listed in your programs. So before we start naming the winners, let's have a big round of applause for all of those who are nominated. You should take great pride in knowing that your talents and skills were noted and believed to be warranted acknowledgement. So congratulations to all the nominees. Our first industry award is for Manager of the Year. Managers are vital. They keep items in check and watch out for the restaurant's bottom line, all while serving as team leaders in their restaurants. So congratulations to all of this year's nominees. This year's winner has been in the industry for over 20 years. And like many of the best managers, they have also worked in other roles in their restaurants, from dishwasher to cook to team lead. They have worked for franchises, local chains, and even their own family startup, cultivating the success of their employees by developing menus, procedures, and training programs from the ground up. He also gives to the community as the president and founder of a youth organization, giving back to the children of New Mexico and to the small town that he calls home. Let's offer our warm congratulations to Steve Silva of Anaheim Jacks in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Steve also worked as a general manager of Cattle Baron for over 17 years, helping to train and mentor 14 other GMs for the company. Like he says of his charity, All for Kids New Mexico, it is always rewarding to have the ability to cultivate a group and watch them go beyond simply achieving an end result. Way to go, Steve. Congratulations. What a great way to start off. All right, let's move forward to present the Chef of the Year Award. Chefs are the cornerstone of the restaurant business. The heart of the dining experience is the food itself. And New Mexico is very fortunate to have some outstanding chefs in our state. Their creations are unique and delicious. And as everyone knows, remarkable food can lift a mood, bring a family together, and provide the perfect reason for friends to gather. So congratulations once again to all of the nominees. This year's winner is a 15-year veteran of the industry and is passionate about connecting with people through food and experience that they provide their guests each and every day. One of their nominations noted a creativity with dishes and an exceptional ability to adapt the menu to cater to food tribes, trends, and new ideas. While their resume is impressive and includes many awards, this chef recognizes the importance of cultivating more than just their own career. They also cultivate the New Mexico restaurant and food scene through participation in food fights, festivals, cook-offs, and many other opportunities. He shares his passion for innovation, teaching, and developing culinary talents with the next generation of chefs, creating a charity that provides cooking classes and guided recipe instructions to children of all abilities. He's previously been the People's Choice Chef for Rio Rancho and Albuquerque the Magazine's Best Undiscovered Restaurant in 2017. He was our committee's choice for this year. So congratulations to Michael White of the Point Grill in Rio Rancho. Mike's charity, the Kitchen Kids Inc., has grown rapidly, and the organization has now taught over 400 students with statewide classes to come. The kids work alongside professionals to get a real glimpse of the life and work of a chef. We are proud of his dedication to inspire a new generation of chefs. Congratulations. When chefs set the menu and tone, the managers parlay that tone into a well-run establishment, and a restaurant becomes successful enough to pay it forward. The restaurateurs who call New Mexico home take their wits, talents, and skills outside of their restaurants, and they give their hearts to their communities. This is when a restaurant also becomes a good neighbor. Like many hardworking folks who are so giving of their time and generous with their resources, they are not always recognized. These awards give us the opportunity to change that. As we move on to the Restaurant Neighbor Award, I want to remind you that this award recognizes restaurants who are active supporters of their communities and make a positive contribution to the places where they live and work. These restaurateurs and their staff really go the extra mile to be true partners with their communities. You can see from the screen that we had very worthy nominees this year. This year's Restaurant Neighbor has donated food to many charities for their charitable events. They feed volunteers and attendees of these events and have provided food in times of crisis to first responders, blood donation centers, and displaced families during emergencies. They are more than a good neighbor to their community, they are good to their employees as well, participating in a Partners Foundation, which allows employees to contribute to a fund to help their other employees in crisis. Since 2017, 48 employees have been recipients of the fund, and over $120,000 has been donated by team members to the fund. Their charitable events help big groups and individuals, like a Clovis area veteran with cancer, a Las Cruces mom in need of a transplant, and a Shiprock area child born with brain complications. This team's heart beats wide and deep, and we are so proud to call them restaurant neighbors. Congratulations, Domino's BAM Team Bailey. Will the Domino's team please come up and accept your award? This year, as a tongue-in-cheek nod to our event's prohibition theme, the New Mexico Restaurant Association would like to honor New Mexico's most wanted distillery, winery, and brewery. These People's Choice Awards are featured this year only, and they were chosen through public voting. With over 1,500 votes total received between these three categories, the community was clearly happy to have their voices heard. Many of these nominees have generously donated their beer, wine, and spirits to our cocktail hour and to our wine raffle. You may also know it is currently New Mexico Craft Month. We are proud to share in that celebration and encourage you to support New Mexico's local wineries, breweries, and distilleries year-round. Now, we had a great response to the social media voting in the distillery category. People are really excited about spirits being created right here in New Mexico. This year's Distillery of the Year winner uses their own distillery products and fresh, homemade craft cocktails that really make their house spirits shine. Their distillery lounge is one of a kind, using locally sourced recycled materials in their construction. It incorporates collections of antiques that showcases the unique history of their era. Our fans on social media could not say enough about this business, and their votes came rolling in. So congratulations, Three Rivers Brewery and Distillery. Will the Three Rivers team please come up and accept your award? This year's Winery of the Year award has been part of the New Mexico wine scene for over 30 years. 100% of what they grow in their vineyards makes its way to their wines. Their wines are the foundation of the growth of the company, to include locally owned and operated bistros and a tasting room and wine bar. They pride themselves on being 100% New Mexico. Our social media voters agreed that they are 100% incredible. Congratulations, St. Clair Winery. Will the St. Clair team please come up and accept the award on your winery's behalf?
Yeah, buddy.
This year's Brewery of the Year winner is relatively new to the industry, but they've already created many jobs, new dining options for visitors, and have come a long way in helping their town become a destination for craft beer lovers. They know that fresh beer created in-house is really something to be celebrated. They happen to be the highest elevation brewery in New Mexico, and their water and clean mountain air blend together to make a crisp, satisfying beer. Congratulations, Red River Brewing Company. Will owners Michael and Sharon Calhoun please come up and accept the award? Congratulations. Aren't they sweet? Well, it's time to wrap up this wonderful evening, and it's time for our final award, the Restaurateur of the Year. The Restaurateur of the Year award is the highest honor a person can receive in New Mexico in the restaurant industry. The winner is chosen based on the recipient's advancement of the industry and involvement in their communities. The New Mexico Restaurant Association has been honored to present this award every year since 1967. I would like to ask previous recipients of the Restaurateur of the Year award to please stand and be recognized. And let's give them a big round of applause. I would like to invite to the stage our 2017 Restaurateur of the Year award winner, Brian Bailey of Domino's Team Bailey, to reveal this year's winner.
Thank you, Ginger. Thank you, everybody. What a night, huh? Wow. It's been our honor to serve as your Restaurateur of the Year for last year, and one of the honors of my career. And again, thank you for everybody. Tremendous blessing, and it's my honor tonight to present the award to the 2018 Restaurateur of the Year. To be Restaurateur of the Year, it's not enough to have found success in your restaurant. Being Restaurateur of the Year means that your success in your restaurant is only rivaled by the contributions you have made to your community and how you have helped the industry as a whole. Restaurateurs of the Year exemplify excellence in customer service, employee relations, innovation, and all have a true passion for the restaurant industry. They are truly the cream of the crop. This year's winner has received many awards for their wonderful meals. They started simple and small, but have grown with the times while still respecting the vibrant history of their area. Their place has become a tourist destination and has even been showcased on things like the Travel Channel, the Food Network, and in many, many print publications. But that really hasn't changed the heart of their operation. There are just so many reasons that their business has succeeded. One of the most important is their loyal and dedicated team members. Some have been with them for over 46 years. That kind of loyalty, says so very much about these operators. They have stayed active in their community, winning lots of awards from the local chambers of commerce, and have served public office in their county as well as the state of New Mexico. These restaurateurs really exemplify the New Mexico spirit. They have continued a family legacy, building and growing a family-owned restaurant that opened in 1945. That's 73 years of prosperity, community, and scratch-made beans, chili, and what many may argue is the best green chili cheeseburger anywhere. Let's give our warmest congratulations to 2018 Restaurateurs of the Year, Rowena and Adolph Baca of the Owl Bar and Cafe in San Antonio, New Mexico.
Thank you, Brian. Before we let Rowena and Adolph make their speech, let me tell you a little more about them. If you have visited the Owl Cafe, you've noticed dollar bills attached to the wall. The story behind these bills says a lot about the Baca family. They don't keep that money. Every few weeks before Christmas, they take down the money and donate to various charities, such as New Mexico Make-A-Wish Foundation, Carrie Tingley Children's Hospital, New Mexico Boys and Girls Ranches, and more. To this date, they have donated over $30,000 to various charities. Thank you, Rowena and Adolph, for setting an example of New Mexico's restaurateurs. Would you like to say a few words?
She wants to get a picture first.
We're going to take a picture first. You can take a picture right here. She's going to do it. You have to go stand by him.
Stand right here.
Oh.
My legs are shaking.
Bravo. Do you want to say a few words?
Thank you, everybody.
Aw,
Come and eat a chili cheeseburger.
congratulations. Congratulations.
Out of years, huh?
Before we conclude with our ceremony for the night, I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for coming. Those of you with a special ticket in your program may take your centerpiece home and your growler jugs, and they include a certificate graciously given from Red River Brewing Company to have the growler filled at your next visit. And don't forget to pick up your wine from the raffle on the way out. Congratulations. Thank you, and we hope to see you all again next year. Have a wonderful night. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't get to